Cards 2 Die Cast 4.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of the Cards 2 Die Cast 4 channel. I want to thank you all for watching. And in this video, we are going to be deviating away from the NASCAR line. If you've been watching my videos lately, or if you're a fan of my channel, please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Would you just click on the link in the description below. You notice that the majority of my videos are NASCAR oriented. However, this is also the home of the Jordan vs. Fleer series, quite a popular unboxing video series there, and showcasing as well. But lately I've been trying to figure out what can I do to get back into the baseball world. I only have one baseball video up, and that is of the 1989 Upper Deck. As of course we try to go after the Griffey Jr. Rookie, which I think we were successful on 2 occasions in order to get. However, I just sent in I didn't just send in, about 2-3 months ago I sent in a 50-day PSA submission return. I have those cards back, and out of those 46 cards, 5 of those cards were from the 89 Upper Deck. And lo and behold, I got some grades that kind of shocked me in a way, but I think I just found out what I can do for you baseball fans to give you guys some interest. I did this a little bit in the Jordan vs. Fleer bonus video, where I took the highest graded Jordan and I compared it to some of the other lowest ones, lower graded Jordans, to figure out which card got what, and to also inform you all when it came to deciding if you should send in a Jordan card to get graded. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here for you baseball fans with the 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. As you saw from the video, what we're going to be doing here in this video is showcasing you all to the best of my ability. Of course, I'm not a professional grader, but this might be able to give you at least some idea as to why a certain Griffey Jr. rookie got itself a PSA 8. And then we're going to take a look at a PSA 9. And then finally, we're going to also conclude with showcasing a Gem Mint 10 version of this Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. And we're also going to then take that Gem Mint 10 Griffey and compare it to another top star from the 1989 Upper Deck line that also was able to get a Gem Mint 10. So let's go ahead and set that mystery card aside, and we'll go ahead and start taking a look at the Griffies. And so let's go ahead and take an example here. I was able to send in 4 of those Griffey rookies. And so let's go ahead here. Let's put these aside so you can get out of the picture. And here you go. We have ourselves a PSA 8 Griffey rookie. This is one of 2 of them. So let's set this aside and we'll go to the next one. Once again, another PSA 8. And now let's go to the PSA 9. You see right here. And then finally, I was actually able to get it. I was shocked when I looked at it. I was thinking this must have been one for one of my NASCAR cars when I looked at the grade. But no, I wound up getting a Gem Mint 10 of the 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. So this is actually a pretty cool card. I believe as of this video, the population report, out of 64,500 Griffey rookies that have been sent in, only 3,000 have about a Gem Mint 10, about 3,031 or something like that. And so it's actually, that's less than 5% of the actual total population that PSA has graded that have achieved the Gem Mint 10 status. So this is actually a pretty cool card. So due to the scarcity, or relative scarcity, of this Gem Mint 10 version, let's go ahead and take a look at what separates a PSA 8 from a PSA 10 with the Griffey rookie. Alright, without knowing the actual label, can you tell which card here is the PSA 8 and which one is the PSA 10? Well, let's go ahead and identify it. It's going to be this card that's going to be on your left. This is the PSA 8, and this over here will be the PSA 10. And so right off the bat, if you look at it, I think one thing that sets the Gem Mint 10 apart from the PSA 8 is the centering. You notice here that there's a little bit more of a even border across all the corners here, although there is a little bit looking at it from my little viewfinder here, it does seem like there's a little bit, even with the Gem Mint 10, Gem Mint 10s compared to a Beckett PSA, or rather a Beckett Pristine 10, from what I understand is that the Pristine 10 is supposed to have 50-50 centering. PSA allows for a 45-55 Gem Mint 10. So I think in this instance we got a little bit of mercy from PSA, because I do think even with the Gem Mint 10 there's a little bit of left to right centering that could just be slightly adjusted. But when it comes to the PSA 8 over here, it does appear that we have a little bit more of a intolerance, if you will, when it comes to the picture being real fat here on this side with this border, and not so much here. Top to bottom centering is not all that good either. A little bit more space should be over here as well. But let's go over here and let's showcase something that's unique, or at least was unique to the time, with the 89 Upper Deck, and that you see these diamonds here with the diamond Upper Deck logo. This here could kill your PSA 10, and in fact, to be honest, I think we got a little bit of mercy from the from PSA. Let's go ahead and zoom here real quick with the Gem Mint 10 version, and you will notice here that PSA allowed me to have a little bit of that diamond nicked off or not placed properly. These things have been known to just slide all over the place, but I think if you give it some mercy to that top part of that diamond, the diamond in itself is pretty well centered. Now let's go over here to the PSA 8. You notice that it's actually full. The diamond itself is full, but it's off center within that diamond. This is where you go back to like relic cards when you're grading cards with PSA, and how relic cards can sometimes get bad grades because there's more edges and more borders that all have to fit within that Gem 10 spectrum. And in this instance, even though it's just a standard size card, when these things first came out, these logos here, that's one of the neat things about the 89 Upper Deck deal. These were the first cards, I think, to feature that, to help fight counterfeiting. But at the same time, a lot of these things were completely cut off. And as you see here, not only does the card itself, the picture, have to fit within that 45-55 centering, also the diamond itself here has to. So that's one thing that you may need to consider whenever you are deciding to send in a Griffey Rookie for a submission. But looking back at it, I believe when it comes to grading, PSA allows for a 70-30 centering on the back, so it's not as important to have a perfect picture on the back as it is with the front. There's a lot more tolerance when it comes to the back of the card than the front. But even in this instance, it's pretty easy to tell. You can see how thin and skinny this top border is. Top to bottom centering is not good. Left to right centering could do a lot better. The Gem Mint 10 version, on the other hand, as you see here, the centering is pretty well balanced from left to right. Up and down is also pretty well centered as well. So that is what separates an 8 from a 9. So let's go ahead and put the Gem Mint 10 back in frame here, and let's go ahead and grab my other PSA 8 real quick for another evaluation. And much like the previous one, centering issue was a little bit scoffed at. These are all packed fresh, so there's not really anything concerning denting or wear or anything else like that, as well as I should say. These were all pulled, packed fresh between the two unboxings that I did. One video I shot that the video got damaged. The other one was the video that I have uploaded onto my channel. And so once again, looking back at it, it actually has the full diamond like the first one. However, the centering of the diamond is not all that great. It's very close to the border there, and of course the centering top to bottom is not the same. You got to have lots of good centering with these cards in order to qualify for a Gem Mint 10. So let's go ahead now and introduce the Gem Mint 10, or not Gem Mint 10, but rather the Mint 9. This is the Mint 9 as you see right here. Let's go ahead and evaluate that and compare, because this is where you got a Mint 9 versus a Gem Mint 10. This Gem Mint 10, as of this video, is marketing on the eBay market for about $400. This here, on the other hand, I think is maybe getting 90 at best. Could be mistaken there, but let's go ahead and try to compare if we can, because this is where the most minute of differences can separate a mint 9 from a gem mint 10. So I am trying to look here, and the left to right centering seems to be relatively okay. What do you guys think? I'm trying to figure out here. I mean, this is, once again, this is where my inexperience as being a grader comes into play, because I'm not a professional grader. So sometimes the most minute of differences is what separates a 9 from the 10 here. So I'm looking at this, and it's pretty hard for me to decipher when it comes to the centering issue. So let's go ahead and look here, because even the gem mint 10 has a little bit of a centering issue in my view. But I think I just found out what may have separated this as we now flip to the back of the card. And as you will see, the centering is also quite healthy when it comes to the back of the card. Very well centered, it appears. Likewise, obviously the centering is pretty good with the back. But let's go ahead and zoom in here with the 9, and I think I may have noticed it's missing a big chunk of that logo, or that hologram sticker right there, and it's missing it, and that's a pretty big chunk that's missing out there. Now let's go ahead and see what the gem mint 10 has, and even that has a little bit of a miss, but it's just slight. So this is where PSA is giving me just a little bit of leeway here. It seems like they showed me some mercy there. So this might be a mercy gem mint 10. This might not be the most pristine of gem mint 10. I'm sure if I sent this to Beckett, they probably would give me potentially a 9.5 to a 9. Probably a 9.5, but I don't think this would be qualified as a pristine 10 with Beckett, if that's something you're thinking about. But that diamond right there could surprisingly take a gem mint 10 qualifying card in terms of centering and conditioning, and then turn it around and send it right back to a mint 9. So that's something to think about right there. But to be honest, there's not a whole lot of difference. The only thing I'm really noticing, of course I'm not a professional grader, is that diamond logo hologram is missing a pretty significant chunk right there, and maybe that was outside of the tolerances for PSA. Now, let's go ahead and now compare two 1989 Upper Deck Gem Mint 10s by looking at what we can get here for a Gem Mint 10 for Randy Johnson. So let's go ahead and compare these two Gem Mint 10s together and see if we can decipher any differences in between the two. So also, if you're considering sending in a Randy Johnson card, you could also get some information here as well. But this is a Gem Mint 10 conditioned Randy Johnson rookie card right here, and as you can see for both cards, centering is almost completely centered. Left to right centering looks pretty good on the Johnson. Top to bottom looks pretty good on the Johnson, and then we have pretty good centering. I think, to me, it just seems like right here on your right side, a little bit more fat on the border of the right side. Just slightly, though. I mean, you could barely tell, because I do analyze these cards pretty hard, and it does look like there's a little bit, but just a tiny bit, though, but it's within that 55-45 range. Top to bottom centering is pretty good on the Griffey. So let's go ahead and flip the cards around, take a look at the back. And as we see here, let's first go off to the diamond. And in this instance, the diamond is full and complete with this Johnson. And for the most part, it seems to be dead center. There's a little bit more of a gap here than over here, but just slight. I mean, just so slight. But this is a situation here where, as we take a look at the whole card, if this was to be sent over to Beckett, this could have a fighting chance at one of their pristine 10s. I don't know if it will get a black label, but it would get, I think, a pristine 10. Otherwise, let's go ahead here finally and take a look at the Gem Mint 10 for Ken Griffey Jr. And let's slowly go up. If there's little specks here, that's usually, it's not on the card itself. It's actually just stuck on the casing, but it's not of the card itself. And as you can see there, it's a lot of centering, and just that we got a little bit of mercy right there. I think that diamond label was dead center. It was just missing a little bit of a tick, but I think PSA let me slide. So this, I'm considering this to be a mercy Gem Mint 10. So anyway, that's the video here. I hope you baseball fans appreciated that and gave you some good information to analyze as to how to send in your cards to PSA if you have an 89 rookie for Griffey and you want to try to get that Gem Mint 10. Maybe this gave you some information right here. So this has been the Cards to Diecast 4 channel. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all my subscribers, all my viewers. Trying to get beyond 100 subscribers. I'm almost there. Really appreciate your help in reaching that goal. Once again, Cards to Diecast 4 channel, and I will see you all later.